welcome to Back Issues. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And today we're going to be talking about a Justice League book.
All right.
It's really a Wonder Woman story, because as we've kind of said before, it's hard to find a good Wonder Woman story out there. There are some fun runs, but like a story, just like a standalone, here's the story, it's kind of hard.
Yes.
We figured in light of the movie having come out, regardless of how you felt about that, and death metal having ended, regardless of how you felt about that, why don't we tell you a kind of fun Wonder Woman story?
I would welcome it.
That'd be good.
So I'm going to try and tell you one, and hopefully you agree with me that it is kind of fun. A lot of folk already know about this. I can't remember if we had this sent to us or I just purchased this.
I think you just bought this.
I did. There's a dot on the back of it. I picked it up literally because of the cover and the art inside, because the cover art matches the art inside.
Ah,
We've
that
actually
sounds good.
bought.
One of those things.
We bought the Prestiges and then got the trade.
I didn't even know that. I grabbed the trade. I was like,
know.
oh, the trade, I want this, yoink. And I read it, and I was like, this was kind of fun. So I was like, we need a Wonder Woman book.
Yeah, I dropped the ball on the Wonder Woman story because I tried to read this massive event, and I'm like, I've read it 3 times, and I still have no idea what's happened in it.
Yeah.
So, and it sucks. So, like, let's do something more positive.
So here we go. This is a fun one. This is the one that we baited you with the title, Wonder Woman Defeats the Justice League.
Gotcha.
Ah.
But she does, though.
It does happen.
All
I
right.
guess. I
so
wouldn't
it's
know.
not a bait and switch.
Yeah.
But that's not really what this book's about.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hey,
We'll see. Hang
if
in
it
there.
happens, it happens.
Yeah, no, it does happen. It happens for reals. This book is written and painted.
Oh, shit.
By,
Like the scare floor.
Painted? Written and painted by Christopher Moeller. There's like double L's.
Moyer.
Moyer.
Being fancy now.
Mueller.
No. It's Moeller. He'd written a couple of independent books, Rocket Man, Shadow Empire, which then became Iron Empire. Did some Dark Horse, like anthology stuff, that kind of work. Then he does this. There's another book kind of like this. It's actually 2 prestige issues that I don't think they ever made into a trade, called JLA Cold Steel. I'm having that sent to me because I had to read it because the cover. Maybe we'll do that one day. It's
Because that's the other one of 2 Chris Mueller Justice League stories.
Yep.
Or, in point of fact, DC stories.
Yeah, that's kind of it. He's done a lot of covers. He worked on some James Bond covers. He's worked on, I think, some Star Wars stuff here and there.
Okay.
He worked on some tabletop gaming stuff. I think one of his comics kind of became a
that's
tabletop
cool.
game.
And that's where the
I think
money
he does
is.
a lot of art for tabletop games as well. But yeah, so this came out in like 2001.
All right.
Wow.
And it's set in 2001 as well. So
Okay.
that's the Justice League, the JLA we're dealing with here.
That era of JLA.
That era. Whether or not it's continuity, I honestly don't know.
Well, does anyone die?
No.
Well, then there you go. Yes.
But there should be sort of this fundamental shift. And
Where no one
Totally
can trust
speaking.
Diana again?
kind of.
Oh.
Kind of, and kind of not. The way, it's funny. It's funny how, at the end of this, they try to just put everything back. Like, okay, and moving on.
Let's pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, except that totally happened. That happened. This Justice League story, which is JLA, a League of One. It's a League of One. Who needs the rest of them?
Is that like an allusion to a league of their own?
One.
I thought it was going to be an allusion to the newly minted at that time Army slogan, which went from "Be all you can be" to an army of one.
I guess it's also just kind of what happens.
Right.
This story starts as all good Justice League stories start in the year 1348 in Europe.
Of course.
Did not see that coming.
No.
I mean,
Justice League of Ancientness.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Justice League Ancient.
Yeah, you know all the good ones you read. It just says Europe, but I know we're in Switzerland.
Okay.
And the 100-Year War is just starting. The plague is there, and it's bad. But while all that's happening, that's not the baddest of the bad, because currently an army is hunting down the last dragon.
Oh, okay. That explains why there's no dragons
They killed the last one,
in the 14th century.
of course.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there
They're hunting down the evil Drackle Carfang.
Okay.
Okay, that needs to go in a game. That's great.
Yeah.
Dracul Carfang.
Yeah.
I can see his Magic the Gathering card right now.
Totally. How
Well,
much mana does he have?
It'd have to be hers because Drackle Carfang is a lady dragon.
Oh, that would make sense. You gotta kill her so she doesn't lay any more eggs.
How do you know this? Did you go out and check under the dragon's skirts?
Yeah. She's the most evil, the most wretched, the worst of the worst, and there she is.
Is this like Shadow of the Colossus where she's not evil at all and it's sad?
We'll find out.
Son of a... Okay.
So basically, like the army's firing on her, and she's spitting forth, fire.
Green flame.
Well, it's
Hey!
it is technically green flame, but it is fire and corrupted vapors. I love the way they describe it because it roars from the gullet as if vomited directly from hell.
Dope.
Or her bowels.
Either or. But anyway, eventually, like, they got her on the run, and she takes flight. And they're like, oh, crap, go get her. Because these guys, they're trained. They know about how you hunt a dragon. And they know that dragons... Did you expect this, by the way? Did you expect that in the Justice League book I was going to be giving you a lesson about dragons?
Or dragon hunting.
Not even a little.
No.
So these guys know that dragons, long, long ago, learned to remove their hearts from their bodies and hide them amongst the ruins.
That's like the dragon heart story.
No, the Dragonheart story is that it gave up its heart to save someone.
Yeah,
like
but,
it
like-
put its heart in somebody.
He still displaces his heart physically from his chest.
Okay, true. We are removing the heart and
Yeah.
you are keeping it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Bizarre, and yet thematically connected. Hey, didn't Dragonheart also come out like a year or two before this?
Probably.
I can't not hear Sean Connery's voice now, even
Yeah.
though I know it's a woman.
No, it still is. Hey, if they,
I am the last one.
I am Dracul.
Dracul
This
Carfang.
is like the Monty Python version of
Yeah.
this book. So they know that her heart is the only way they can kill her. If
Yep.
you don't kill the heart, there's no reason in hurting her because it doesn't matter. She'll just
Sure.
keep coming back, right?
Okay.
So she goes back to her lair where her dragon-kin minions are there. The guys have to fight their way through. And they-
What's a
Are they-
dragonkin minion?
Yeah, what?
Are they like dragon people?
Yeah, they are. They're little
What the crap?
lizard guys.
It sounds like that's really the more pressing issue.
That's her brood. These are her babies.
They're not her babies. We
No?
will learn about what they are in this book.
These are more like
About the
dragon
Justice
midwives.
League.
Yeah. Oh well, don't hang in there, Bat fans. It's coming right after the dragon.
love-
brood.
I love how excited you are about this.
Yeah, I'm shocked that this is your this is a book for you.
It's really okay.
Okay.
So they send some scouts ahead whilst they're fighting the minions
Okay.
to track her down because she's bleeding. And those scouts spend weeks in her lair. They never find her.
Oh,
All right.
And so they abandon it.
Sort of like a labyrinth in a way.
Yeah, they're never able to find her. They collapse the front of the cave and they move on. They're like,
Okay.
well, that'll take care of itself.
yeah. She won't be able to leave, so that'll work out.
She's just a creature of myth and legend, the last of her kind, and presumably like a great evil. We gotta go ransack and pillage.
Well, in
We're
fairness,
in year 1 of a 100-year war. We got 99 more years to go.
True.
Can't waste my time on a dragon. So then we skip ahead to 2001,
Ah,
and we cut to the moon, where the watchtower is. And it's kind of a cool image of what the watchtower looks
Yes.
like, right? Neat. And Martian Manhunter is in the watchtower, and he's essentially guiding everyone on a mission. And the mission is seemingly Mount Vesuvius has erupted, and
no.
everything's in chaos. But the Justice League has been sent, and they've really kind of calmed everything down, and they want to put a probe in Vesuvius so that they know for the future
Okay.
what
All right.
is when it's gonna blow. Because it caught them off guard this time, and how dare it? I'm like,
right.
It's a volcano, guys.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a force
anyone
of
who
nature.
lives around a volcano understands the risk.
Yeah, relax. But so Diana is in this ridiculous looking cool probe thing in Mount Vesuvius. The probe is literally, she's in it. She drives it in and then they'll teleport her out.
Oh,
Okay, I was gonna say how does she not know she's not gonna die?
Yeah. Why don't they just drop it in?
Well, I don't know. I guess she had to put it in a position, so they have to kind of drive it in, right? And Martian Manhunter checks in how you doing? You good?
I'm glad he's not doing this.
Yeah, and she's like, well, right now I really wish you hadn't put windows in this thing. Because I know I'm 2 miles beneath the Earth's crust, and
Cool.
that's not cool.
And all it is magma.
Yeah.
I can't see through it.
And
Yeah.
like John's like, it's probably for the best that I didn't go. I would be so terrified I wouldn't be able to do anything. And she's
Sweet.
like, anyway, teleports her back. He's like, that's perfect because Superman's returning and it looks like he has something. And like Superman's flying up and he's got like a monument. And she's like, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh, the Pope gave us this for like being awesome the last time we helped.
That's nice.
Oh, it's for containing the eruption. They somehow got this carved up, and it's just a monument to them that looks like the Washington Monument that just has all their names on it. So it's Aquaman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Superman, and Wonder Woman, alphabetical order,
Okay.
in honor of the Justice League. In their day, the righteous shall flourish and prosperity abound. It's a psalm, and then it just says Pax Defensor.
Cool.
And she's like, oh man, like that's cool. Like, you know, sometimes we get caught up in everything. It's hard. It's not like hard to forget what it's really all about.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, Pax Defensor. And she's like, defend peace. They stole that from the Amazons, but whatever. Clark's like, ha, 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 ha. Hey, where's John? They've kind of had a rough couple of weeks defending Italy, essentially, from
guess.
Vesuvius. And so Wonder Woman's like, I'm really looking forward to taking some time off and going back to Themyscira.
It's really hard to outrun a volcano on a Vespa. That's all I'm going to say.
Beep. But they saved everybody. So she does go back to Themyscira.
Oh, okay.
And while she's there, we see her participate in this ritual. And this ritual involves her, like, kneeling at a cliff and holding her lasso aloft and, like, basically asking to be judged. Like, she's judging herself and, like, trying to keep herself pure and, like, not lie and all this stuff. And, like, it's something that not even the gods do. And, like, blah, 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 blah. And there's, like, some little green chick watching her.
Okay.
It's a nymph.
Oh. Does Themyscira have nymphs?
Well, she's a magical creature.
I know they don't, but like you tell me. Is that a new thing?
Yes, they do. Well, because this is seated in Greek mythology
Right.
and mythology in general,
So
but
conceivably
not
there's minotaurs and stuff here too.
maybe or maybe elsewhere. But
We're reading a book about a dragon, Sal.
yeah, come on.
All
Seriously,
right.
Is that really a stretch?
Well, I wasn't sure if it was like it was sent to follow her, and like it's not supposed to be here.
No. We learn later on that like Althea, who's a wood nymph, was one of the playmates of Diana growing up.
Oh, all right, cool.
This is a theme we've seen with Wonder Woman in general. It's also a theme that the movie the 84 utilizes.
Yes.
This will use it better.
Good.
This will use this better.
I should hope.
It wouldn't take much.
Yeah.
While that's going on, we head off to Switzerland again.
Good.
Because
Because there's a dragon down there.
there's a dragon down there. And there's these two little dudes. They're little gnomes. They're Swiss gnomes that don't look anything like the little adorable gnomes. They look more goblin-y, kind of, but they're gnomes. And they're Emmerich and Elman. Yeah. And they have just come back from an evening of, like, pilfering random crap.
Okay.
Like a bottle opener and someone's like set of keys and a beeper. It's like,
Do they leave chocolate in their places?
no, they just take this crap. They just steal it.
Yeah.
They're like, ha 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 ha. So I'm like, that's fun, you know, when you're missing something and it's like seemingly gone forever. Well, a gnome took it.
It was a gnome.
A gnome just stole it from you. But essentially, Emmerich is like tired of like stealing just random garbage stuff. And he's like,
I want a laptop and
Yeah.
like a lazy boy. I want to be comfortable.
right?
Yeah, going after the big score.
Yeah. Because they live in a tiny town of Altdorf. It's a real place.
Okay.
And he's like, we should go to Zurich. The Zurich gnomes, they know what's up. Now, it's funny about that because the term, like, gnomes of Zurich is an actual term, and, like, it actually holds, like, there's, like, a political affiliation with it from back in the day, and I don't believe it's necessarily, like, a kind term. But I think it's circa, like, World War II, it kind of crops up during that time period, maybe World War I. I don't have a historical record of this in my head, but I just thought that was funny that they specifically mentioned Zurich.
Sure.
And essentially, he's like, if we were there, those guys know how to live. They've got a real.
They steal the good stuff.
They got a real treasure trove of stuff, right? And like Elman's like, but what gnome worth their salt would live in like such flat land that surrounds Zurich? So like they live in the mountains.
Yes.
Okay.
Mountains, Gandalf. I would say mountains, Gandalf.
So mountain gnomes versus flatland gnomes.
Yeah, and they suck, but they don't. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Elman and Emmerich enter into their borough, their warren, their city, basically, which is like huge and like is in like ruins and needs to be rebuilt, but like none of them are in a huge rush to do it. They're mythical creatures. They've got other priorities. All of a sudden, like they see all the other gnomes like rushing off someplace. They're like, "What's up?" They're like, "Don't you hear the drums?" There's like they're calling us.
Saruman needs war!
You don't want these guys. They're like this big. No, no, they're I guess yay high. I guess I don't know.
Really good for getting you in the gut.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You gotta, don't do that.
They jump on you.
Yeah, they jump on you and they yell in your ears.
And they'll steal your toothbrush.
Yeah, I don't want that. But essentially, that like the elder has discovered a secret chamber. So they stand before it. Everyone gathers, and they're like, "We know what's behind this chamber. If this rune means anything, and this rune obviously means dragon, that like this holds the future for us. Either the dragon is still alive, or the dragon is dead." And
But
if
it's a dragon. It's got riches and like treasures and whatnot, probably.
kind of. They want the dragon to be alive because that means it'll reclaim the glory for for these gnomes, for their clan.
Yeah, for the mountain gnomes, not
Yeah.
the stupid
Zurich
flatland gnomes.
flatland
Yeah, they're
gnomes.
called they're the Yuri Warren. That's what their Warren is referred to as.
Okay.
And they're like, well, we'll regain our glory, and that's gonna be awesome. Let's open it up.
You guys are going to be a snack.
Yeah, what are you talking about? If we
they're-
release this dragon, it'll herald our glory. Like,
Yeah,
no,
they're
it'll
like-
eat you or burn you.
Well, the idea is that like they believe that they're meant to serve her, and so like if
oh, they're meant. Okay.
yeah, so they're like no, she'll like totally
Give us purpose and stuff.
Yeah, but like also like help to conquer the world, and by doing so, we'll kind of be in charge.
Right. Well, we can move into the houses
Listen,
and stuff.
it's completely.
There's no way it's gonna
They're
work.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, like, when they open the great gates, there, in fact, is Dracul Karfang, and she's alive. She's breathing.
Sweet.
All right.
But asleep.
Oh. Well, one of those gnomes has got to go up and give her a kiss. Right?
And wake
Try
her
to
up.
wake her up.
Diana completes her little ritual. She's got the lasso around her neck, because, like, her greatest fear is that she'll one day turn from the path and become a destroyer. And I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, she'll lose the path of truth and justice.
And then just turn into like the badass like sword wielding warrior that everybody wants her to be anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I want anyway.
I know.
But like, this is cool. This is a warrior's way as well. The warrior's path of like honor, and like
Yeah.
that's what she cares about right now. And I'm like, that's dope, right? So then she like dives into the ocean, and it's like just really cool looking because it's all painted and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And when she gets there, there's a little blue girl
Oh.
there, and this is Zoe, who is a Nereid. I think that's how you pronounce it. She's the youngest daughter of Nereus, the old man at the sea.
Oh.
That's a real thing.
Okay.
Nereids are the offspring of the old man of the sea. This is Zoe. Zoe's like, hey, you look like you got the weight of Atlas on your shoulders, blah, blah, blah. She's like, let's hang out and play. She pushes her under the water and then makes her into a mermaid. She's like, mermaids are never upset.
What? Just turns her into a mermaid?
Yeah, and she's like, no, come on, let's go look at these like cool fountains I found, like blah, blah, blah.
Alright, cool.
And like Wonder Woman's like, I can't just play with you all day like I used to, like when we were little
Aw.
kids. And I was like, that's really sweet. Like the idea of little Diana having these little, because she wouldn't have had playmates.
No.
Yeah.
And
They don't
so,
have
like,
children
Everyone
there.
would have been older.
Yeah, but like, so like the nymphs were her playmates. And I was
Right.
like, that's fun.
And the nymphs are finally like, finally, someone will play with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So then like Althea jumps in the water as well and is like, everyone should be taught you never trust a mermaid. Like, because she saw them talking and she's like, you weren't supposed to tell her. Zoe's like, I didn't tell her anything. Wonder Woman's like, okay, you two.
What's up?
You can't, you two can't keep secrets from me. I've got a golden lasso of truth.
Yeah.
I have a golden lasso of truth, but you're also like your teenage girls. You can't keep secrets.
Yeah.
It's just not possible.
But essentially they go on shore and like they do have a secret. They were talking to a satyr, and a satyr is known for two things.
Okay, you never trust a satyr, first off.
First of all, you never trust a satyr. But a satyr wants nothing more from a nymph than to share his secrets, he can't help himself, or a kiss
Ah.
from a lovely little nymph, right?
Oh, that's creepy.
It is a little creepy.
Yeah, I
but
like
I mean,
that.
there are like, if they look like this since Diana was a little girl,
Yeah, they're old too. It's
yeah.
just how they
I
look.
know, it's
Yeah.
creepy. It
But
is.
it's bizarre to be like, oh, an old satyr wants nothing more than a kiss from a little nymph. I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's
oh.
I'm going to assume it's a kiss on the cheek. Let's
Yeah.
go with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he overheard Zeus talking to Apollo. It's like they're just spilling tea right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, and essentially what they heard was that the fates are going to speak through the Oracle of Delphi
Okay.
soon, like tonight. And when they do, they're going to spell the fate and demise of Diana,
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Princess of the Amazon.
I was going to
Well,
say it's been a
that's-
while since the fates have gotten together
Yeah,
Right.
to talk.
well, they're ready. They got some stuff to say. And it's literally just that. They're just going to foretell her death.
Okay.
And she's like, okay,
Well, thank you for telling me.
well,
I probably should be there.
that seems serious.
Yeah.
And so essentially they go to Parnassus in Greece, the ancient city of Delphi, and like they are gonna go to where the real oracle was, because the fact was like back in the day, like there were priestesses here, and like they got a couple of things right, but they didn't know where the actual oracle was, so they were only getting like little whispers and whatever. So the nymphs know how to get to where the oracle is, and they really shouldn't bring Diana, but they will. All she has to do is shroud her face, and they can enter, and so they do.
Cool.
And they go into this like dope chamber. There are like these shrouded figures. There's this big circle in the center with like this like fiery, yellowy, white light shooting out of the center of it. And they're like, ooh, it's starting. And the oracle rises up.
Cool.
And it's like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Oracle of Delphi. Woo!
Yeah!
Yeah. And then, sparks shoot out.
Yeah.
And, like,
One asshole is wearing like the Oracle of Delphi, like
316.
1742 t-shirt tour.
Yep.
And it's just I love this image of her. I think it's really dope. I think that image is even cooler. It's just this beautiful woman. And like Althea's like, say something. You have to talk to her, Diana.
Right. What's this I hear about? You wanted to kill me or something?
It's not that she wants to kill her. It's just that we're
No, I
going to
know.
tell you that you're going to die.
Well, knock it off. Don't tell anybody.
Princess Diana, I have come for you.
That is not the voice I was expecting.
Of course not. Ooh.
She's like, cool. Hi, I'm Diana of the Amazons. I hear you're going to be talking about me tonight. And the Oracle's like, it's really not wise to know your fate, but you're here, so.
And I'm here one night only.
That's right.
I gotta say something.
Here we go. She proceeds to prophesize about how it's like the fates have foreseen this, and like in the north, there's a serpent that is going to wake up from her ageless slumber, and
check.
there's going to be like stolen gold, and riches, and rings, and all that of power surrounding her. Cool. And then as the dragon rises from like the face of Luna, which is the moon. the league will descend, and the battle for the world will begin.
Okay.
I'm like, cool. All right. And you see her like playing this out above her in like a super simplistic kind of manner, which
Yes.
I really think is very cool looking. You will defeat the dragon, but in doing so, the heroes will die.
Okay.
By winning, you lose. Ha. And then she leaves. She's like, well, I'm done. Bye. And she just goes away. She just
No
goes
encore?
back into the floor. Diana's like,
Yeah.
No. That's it.
Nope, I'm
That's
done.
all.
She's like,
You weren't
"Bye."
supposed to be here to listen to that. I was supposed to tell other people.
Exactly. And Diana's like, I have questions. I have many questions.
Sure.
And she's essentially like, hey, I am but Destiny's Echo. Peace.
All the people there in the robes are just like, wow, really short prophecy this year.
Yeah. We were waiting here all year, but cool.
Neat. So nothing about us?
No. There's never something about it.
I mean, we've only been,
Your faithful servants
and
followers.
upkeeping the temple the entire time. But you know what? No, let's just make it about her.
Yeah.
It's all
The
about
one who just showed up 5 minutes ago.
That's great.
Cool.
Thanks. The nymphs are like, just leave the league and then you don't have to die.
Right.
They all they care about is Diana.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
like, you don't, like, you're our friend and our playmate, and like we really care about you. Just don't be part of the league. And she's like, I can't do that. Like, they're my friends. I need to figure this out. They're like, okay. Meanwhile, in Switzerland, the gnomes are gathering treasure, and now other clans have shown up, including the Zurich ones.
Oh, yay.
And they're all bringing treasure. And the idea here is if they bring enough treasure, when the dragon wakes up, she won't be mad. It's like,
See, 2001, one of those is going to be like an iPod Nano.
right? Most of it is like gold and rings and all that stuff, right? And essentially, like, Emmerich is like, I'm so down for this. This is going to be so dope. Dragon's going to wake up, and we're going to rule, and it's going to be great. And Elman's like, I'm going to guess that she's probably not nice, and maybe some things are best left asleep. And he's like, you're so, like, stupid and, like, you don't see the big picture.
Right.
Like, you're completely missing what we could have. He's like, yeah, I know.
This is why we're still mostly naked wearing boots, you asshole.
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
with the program.
Yeah.
Dragons are great.
We're awesome. And so they do. They do bring forth all of the gems and all of the gold and all of that. And then they all...
Please tell me the treasure wakes her up, like the smell of it.
No, they wake her up in a more ridiculous manner because they're gnomes. So they put the treasure all around her, right? And like it's very impressive looking. And then they're like, okay, cool. And like the leader of the Uri Warren puts on a big ridiculous outfit And then is like, oh, mighty dragon, I've been selected to wake you up. And so we brought forth for you treasure and all this stuff and hear us. And then he takes a pot and starts banging on the floor. And then they all take pots and pans and start banging them on the floor.
The ancient spook-a-raccoon method.
Yes, like as though this is somehow not going to make her mad when
Bang,
she
bang, bang,
wakes
bang, bang, bang. Get out of our cave! Bang, 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 bang.
And so I love this like series of images of just her eye opening. And she's like,
I am going to slaughter all
yeah, I'm
of
going to
you.
kill
I'm
you
gonna
all.
breathe so much fire on you.
So she like sits up and like, what is his name? I can't remember what his name is. Oh, his name is Gebhardt Lieberecht. So Gebhardt's like, you know, like, oh, splendiferous dragon, you're amazing, and I hope our like offering of gold is enough because, you know, all we want is to serve you and blah,
Sure.
blah, blah, blah. And she leans down and she eats him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the gnomes are like,
We may have backed the wrong dragon.
and she looks around, she's like, oh, I thought he was lying about the gold. Oh, no, oh, no, this is nice. This is good. I dig this. All right, right on.
Hooray!
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Let me just...
It's just a pile with a hat.
Yeah.
And
you
then she's like, oh, so you want to serve me? Can do. And then you see like her nostrils and mouth beginning to glow this green color. And she like spits forth like green fire or vapor onto a whole bunch of the gnomes.
Okay.
And all of a sudden the gnomes are like, what's happening to us? And Emmerich's there. And he's like, Elman, what's going on? And all of a sudden they all turn into those dragon folk.
Oh.
The Dracognomes.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense
And
now.
they're like
Yeah.
Draco Carfane Hungers, and they start throwing their unturned brethren into her mouth.
Oh, fuck.
And Elman's like, okay, this is bad.
Yeah, this is my cue.
And so all the
Leave.
other gnomes start running out of the cavern, and like Draco's just laughing and just goes, don't run away, I'm not gonna harm you. I'm like,
laugh is ruh, ruh, ruh,
but
ruh.
yeah, it's what her laugh is.
Oh, awesome.
Everything's going to be fine. Get in my mouth.
I don't like the sound of that
Her
laugh.
laugh. At the Justice League, it's been 5 days since Diana found out about her fate.
Yep,
and,
or theirs, really.
well,
Yeah, is she telling them?
No.
What?
She's at a meeting.
Hey, she's an Athenian. This is for her.
Let him
ears.
know. Bring
Well,
him in.
Technically, it's almost like they just started their meetings up again. Like they all had a few days to just kind of relax, and now they're
Right.
back. And so they're at like their round table.
Yes.
And essentially, Martian Manhunter is just laying down the like. So there's a couple of things.
Here's the
that are
minutes that you missed.
No, here's what's going on in the world right now, and like let's figure out what we're going to fix.
Right.
Like, what are we
Yeah.
going to get involved
Let's
with?
pick and choose all the real world events we will not get involved in.
Oh, man, I didn't realize Kyle Rayner was here.
Yes, it is Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern.
Good for him.
Number one, there's something going on with the Amazon River. It's like being choked by some plants and like causing flooding and killing people. Poison ivy's involved.
Okay.
Number two, there's a super tanker that's run aground in Sicily. Italy's just being hammered lately, apparently.
What is up with... No, okay.
Number three, there's fighting going on in the Balkans. Number four, there is a solar flare. And number five, there's been some thefts in Europe,
Right.
in Switzerland.
By tiny people.
Right, well, they don't know that.
No.
While all this reporting is going on, Diana's not listening to like any of it, really.
Nope.
Because she's just sitting there like, do I tell them? Do I not? I probably shouldn't tell them. Should I tell them? I
And
don't know.
Jean's like, maybe you should.
Ah, right. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
No, Jean is not focused on that at all. Well, Aquaman's like, yo, you all right?
Right.
What's up with you?
Do you think about sleeping with me?
I've got a hook hand, and I'm still paying attention to the notes.
Yeah. When the gold thing is brought up, she's like, I'm sorry, did you say gold?
The thefts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
being stolen? And he's like, yeah, but we're going to let Interpol deal with that. Like, it's like candlesticks and jewelry and like whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
in
like
fact,
magpies got loose.
right? It's like, in fact, one poor man woke up and found that his gold fillings had been pried out of his mouth. I was like,
That's horrific. That would have woken me up.
No, they knock you unconscious for that.
yeah, they hit you with
Bludgeon
their
or
pots
something.
and pans.
Wake up.
Whang!
Why? And she realizes, like, okay, well, I know the gold's referring specifically to me. All right. While this is all going on, Batman's just staring at Wonder Woman, and he's like, what's up?
Yeah.
And
Been
she's-
reading your face the whole time.
And she's like, nothing. So we know Wonder Woman's made her decision.
Yeah. And
I'm-
Batman has also.
Yes.
like,
Now, the rest of Batman being in this book will be Batman being sort of really smart detective, and also a total dick.
Right.
You mean Batman?
Kind of. No, he's more of a dick than usual.
Huh.
It's weird the way Chris Mueller writes him.
Yes.
Like, he's just a total dick.
At this point, Morrison has been giving people Bat God, so I can imagine either he needs a heavy in the story,
Right.
or he's like taking him down a peg or two because Batman's gotten a lot of exposure lately.
Sure.
It could be
It
both.
could be anything.
Mueller isn't really like a DC regular, so it's not like he's like, man, he's reading these Grant Morrison Batman
mean,
books, and
he
he's like,
was.
oh, Batman's got to be taken down. No, I think he just needs a heavy for the story.
He could, but all right. Superman's like, so here's what we're gonna do. The petty crimes, Interpol's got that. The Balkans, we don't get involved in unless the UN asks us.
Right.
So if they ask us, we'll get involved. So we're gonna deal with the Amazon River, the solar flare. Oh yeah, there's an asteroid.
Ah.
That was the other
Okay.
one. There's an asteroid, and like Kyle's already kind of got a plan for that.
Oh, cool.
And they're gonna deal with the tanker. So they're gonna deal with 4 things.
No, everyone's got
Aquaman,
the
Green
tanker. Don't
Lantern,
worry about it.
Superman.
They're already greasy.
They're gonna pair up occasionally, because like, essentially, John's like, I assume Batman, you would like to deal with Poison Ivy alone. However, the Amazon River is 4,000 miles long, so we're gonna suggest you take the Flash
Flash.
with you so
Yeah.
he can help you out.
Why not?
And he's like, fine.
Sure.
As he's staring at Wonder Woman. Superman's like, I'll take the flares.
I'm solar powered.
Yeah, Green Lantern's got the asteroid, which just leaves the tanker. So Aquaman and Wonder Woman, you'll take care of that.
Of course.
And they're like, right on.
Yeah, and John's like, cool, I'll just stay here again.
Yeah, well, they're like, and John will set up a telepathic communication
for all
link
of
for all of
everybody.
us to keep us going.
You know I could do that anywhere.
And you can guard the base, John.
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh,
Bumblebee.
would you like to deal with the solar flares?
No.
Yeah, that's what I
I'll
thought.
stay up here.
Would you like to use your water powers to help the tanker?
I don't have water powers.
Okay. You're going to go really fast up and down the Amazon River?
I could.
I could phase
not as
to the
fast.
other side of the planet.
Why don't you just stay here on the tower?
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing is if he goes to Switzerland and just like, oh, it's a dragon. I'll just morph into a giant male dragon.
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
Oh, this dragon needs a little love.
You're not the last one yet.
Oh, jeez.
Hey.
So anyway, Batman immediately goes into investigation mode in in a weird jump for me that like really indicates that like Mueller's writing Batman like he's just untrusting of everyone.
Yes.
Which is funny because I'm just like, that works, especially when you think of like Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
But like he just makes a big leap in logic. And so he goes over to Wonder Woman's chair, which has of course a big W on it, or her symbol on it.
Yep.
And he finds one fiber and he takes it. And like Flash is like, hey Batman, Superman and Green Lantern already left. Maybe we should get going. Like are we supposed to do a mission? I'm on a mission with Batman. I'd like to do the mission
Right.
with Batman.
Yeah.
You said we could go together. So then
Because
he puts,
normally I never get to work with you because you're kind of a dick.
Yep. Looks like you're still doing that. So then Batman ignores him, takes his baggie with the single fiber, plops it into a supercomputer nearby, tells it to analyze it and only store the data for him.
Okay.
And like, Flash is like, cool, sounds like a great plan. Can we do the
Do the mission now?
thing? That would be nice. I also hear that it's Poison Ivy. She's pretty hot, right?
Hey.
Yes.
She's green, I'm red. Let's make a little Christmas happen.
So then they all go for their teleporter pads. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are still there as well. Aquaman's like, hey, Diana, are we leaving? She's like, hang on, I want to talk to John real quick. He's like, okay. So the three of them, Batman, Flash, and Aquaman, all get teleported to their respective locations. And like, essentially John's like, what's up?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, hey, forgive me. And she takes her lasso and she puts it around John and is like, show me your true form. And so she turns him into a Martian.
Cool.
And he's like,
Why would you do that? I could
I
just
feel
change.
exposed.
Would have been
Right.
happy to do that for you.
right? And then she punches him in the face.
Aw.
What?
She's like, I used that transformation time as hopefully getting the drop on him and like giving me a moment to punch him in the face and knock him out.
Right, before he anticipates it with his
Because like
mental
he could have
powers.
phased.
That's
and so
true.
she
Right.
shocked him and then punched him because he wasn't paying attention to that. He was
That's
paying attention
kinda
to
cool.
having
Yeah.
become.
Something else.
Yeah.
Something foreign to everyone else.
Yeah, so then she takes him with her lasso and flings him onto one of the teleporter pads, activates it, and sends him to that probe in Vesuvius.
Aw.
Oh, shit.
So he's stuck there.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
terrified.
Can't get out.
And he's like,
afraid.
and
Yeah.
like he's like, Diana, how could you do this to me? And like he's just like he's out.
Yes.
He's out for the rest
Of the book.
story.
Also, now, can no one telepathically link together?
Bingo.
Oh.
Shit.
Out in space, Green Lantern handles his asteroid issue. down at the Amazon, they immediately find Poison Ivy. Batman's like, okay, Flash, you go deal with her. I'm going to deal with our other problem. He's like, what other problem?
The Wonder Woman problem.
He's like, the problem where we don't have a telepathic link. Flash is like, but it hasn't been set up yet. He's like, exactly. Back up on the Watchtower, Kyle returns.
Oh, he took care of the asteroid?
Yeah, he took care of that. Well,
It's a pressing issue, and he's got to take care of it.
It's an asteroid. You move it like
That's
3 degrees.
Literally what he does. He just pushes it. He's like, there.
That was hard.
Nailed it.
I could have made like a big jackhammer and like broken it
No.
apart, but I guess that would have made one dangerous falling object than many.
Yes, so he just pushes it out of the way.
Yeah.
And so then he returns and is like, hey, did Martian Manhunter like not set up the telepathic link? Like, I don't understand. I couldn't talk to anybody. She's like, wait, you don't hear him? And he's like, no, what? And she's like, are you okay? And she gets really close to him.
He's like, holla.
Yeah. She's like, you really can't hear him? And she puts her arm around his head.
Oh.
Why would you do that?
And then she like touches his hand. And as she touches his hand, she takes his ring off.
Aw.
Oh, wait, what?
And she's like, I'm sorry I had to do this. And then she headbutts him in the head so hard that the star from her crown makes a mark
In his mask.
In his mask.
That's
Okay,
great.
at least he's wearing the mask. The mask is like uncharacteristically armored for Kyle versus every other Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So like, all right.
Yeah, so doink!
Okay, I'm getting it now. I'm on board.
Yeah.
Okay, so she takes him down. And then she's like, all right, Aquaman's next. Meanwhile, she's like trying to convince herself this is the right way.
Sure.
She's like, I know this is what I have to do. This is what I need to do.
Well, and also, like, thank God she's taking care of these things after the problems have already been fixed.
The problems are being taken care of.
No, to go into space and deal with that solar flare.
Right.
Like, no.
No. So she goes down to Sicily. Aquaman's like, where the hell is she?
Right.
He's got dolphins saving people. He's like, okay, the tanker is going to hit the rocks. I'm trying to save the people. She's supposed to be here to stop the tanker. She shows up. He's like, oh, cool. Go grab that. She grabs it. She pushes it where it needs to go. Everyone's like, hooray for Wonder Woman. She saved the day. And Aquaman's like,
Bellissima!
Thanks, assholes.
and so then like Wonder Woman takes off into the sky and then shoots back down towards Arthur.
Okay.
And then she's plummeting there. He's like, Diana?
What is this?
What are you doing? I mean, it's kind of hot.
Yeah.
So she grabs him, and he's like, unhand me. I'm a king. She just grabs him underneath his arms and like flies him around into the further into the ocean.
Okay.
And he's like, you can't hold me. And she's like, yeah, that's cool, and lets him go. And he falls into a whirlpool. It's not just any whirlpool, it's Charybdis.
Right.
Because she has the help of Zoe, the
Damn.
Nereid.
That's how we set that up. We
Yeah,
set up
and
that she
she's-
knows a water nymph
Yeah,
who
and
could deal with this.
she's like, you should have seen his face when he landed in there.
He's great.
I'll bet it was betrayal and like sorrow.
Yep. So, like, essentially, she knows he'll be fine, but it's going to take him a while to get out of Charybdis.
Yes.
So she's like, cool. Meanwhile, in Switzerland, the dragon is becoming a real problem for everyone because it has now left its lair and is attacking towns. So it's attacking the small town of Altdorf, which is the nearby to Uri Warren.
Yes.
And so, like, people are, like, running and they're being consumed.
Or turned into dragon boys.
No, most of them are just being eaten. They're just being.
All right, good.
I'm
they're just
assuming
being
only
eaten.
the gnomes can be turned into
Become
little
that?
dragon
I
lings.
believe so.
Okay.
That's kind of what it indicates here, except later on when it doesn't.
I just assumed like the green flame can do many things.
It mostly turns people into things, but it's only when she wants it. She's using regular fire.
Right.
She's just burning
okay.
people, buildings, and everything.
Well,
She's burning
shit.
it in the countryside.
Yes, because she's drugged. But she's
Had to.
this dragon lore is also neat because it establishes something that I had never heard of, honestly, in dragon lore. Cue the 12,000 comments. While she flies, there is a wind. Don't start with me. A corrupting wind that follows, essentially. And what it does.
Out of her butt.
No!
Also green.
And what it does is it fans the embers of hatred among those who it touches.
So in its wake, it makes people miserable and angry
and rage.
and violent.
It's like there's a woman collapsed on the street and like she needs help, and there's like a family nearby and a little kid, and like they're like, look at her crawling in the filth, like what a pig, and they like the kid's like, Pa kick her teeth in as like he's just kicking this old woman.
Oh!
And I'm like, okay,
Good heavens.
the dragon's is a problem.
Yeah.
The dragon's a real issue. Oh,
Jesus.
Not just because she's eating people and then
And
she's
setting fire to their houses.
yes, and turning gnomes into dragon people. And
I mean, that's
possibly,
that's really bottom on the
and
list.
possibly turning people into dragon people. But now she's making people turn against one another in a hateful, horrible way.
I kind of get why the Dark Ages were so dark.
Right?
Yeah, especially if there's more than one of these
These
things running
dragons
around.
are a real issue.
Like, shit.
Yeah.
And so like people are trying to flee their homes.
No, stay inside.
Go underground.
Well, they're trying to leave. They're trying to just get the hell out,
Sure.
right? And so they're trying to pack up. And the Draco Gnomes are like entering homes and stealing babies because they're sweet. They're sweetmeats, as they call it,
Well, yeah, they're tender.
for the dragon.
Yeah,
And
no,
so
that's
they're gonna
fair.
feed these babies to the dragon, and like the parents are helpless to stop them, and like his father like leaves his home, and like his neighbor's nearby, and he's got a wrench, and he's like, "You have to help me, old friend." He's like, "I'm not your friend. I'm your neighbor, and I know the way you were looking at my wife." And you're like, "Okay, so he beat that man to death."
Yeah,
Because
okay.
we just leave that scene. I'm like, okay.
There's no resolution. That's
There's
amazing.
no resolution. We know what the resolution is.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Meanwhile, Flash is dealing with Ivy. Ivy's like in the midst of like a little monologue for herself about like,
Plants and how they're greater than people. And
well, really, it's that like, legitimately, she's doing her like her eco-terrorist thing in a way where it's just like there's a real problem, and the problem is that there's deforestation occurring, and like they're using dynamite, and like they are killing the rainforest, but she's dealing with it in a way which people are being murdered and
Right.
killed, especially people who are maybe not be affected or like directly involved with the deforestation.
Sure.
Right.
Okay.
And so like she's like, no more trees are gonna fall, doing her thing, and then all of a sudden she just sees something running at her and yelling. She's like, the Flash? Okay.
This is new.
I didn't see that one coming.
if you do.
He's like, oh, you're killing innocent people. She's like, that's the only thing that you people listen to. And that's why I'm doing this, right? And as he gets closer, all of a sudden he's like, what the hell? And there's like a haze around her because there are these what he calls lily pads, and she's like, no, they're actually based on hyacinth, and they provide like this not pheromone but like a fragrance that like makes men like stagger and puts them into a trance.
Okay.
And so Flash is like stuck, and then like we see him do this like, I love this image of the Flash. He's vibrating quickly, and then he punches her in the face, and he's like, I can metabolize really fast.
I had a boner for like a 60th of a second, Ivy.
Yeah. So it's over. I'm all done. I'm finished. So, he continues to say like whatever, like something better. He calls
Dressing her down.
He's like dressing her down. And he's like,
You not want to talk, Wally.
now I'm gonna get rid of your mutant lily pad. She's like, they're hyacinth. He's like, whatever.
I don't care about that.
I literally don't care. Meanwhile, Batman is stoically standing on a rock with like this weird piece of like RoboCop tech on his face.
Yeah, well, okay.
And he's like, computer, what do you got for me? It's a piece of wool from the 14th century BC. Then he asks the computer to trace where Wonder Woman's been. He figures out that she went to Delphi, and he's like, okay, she must have talked to the Oracle.
Yeah, that's not a bad leap.
No, but then he's like, wait a minute. She asked about the crime in Europe. Tell me about that. And tell me about that area, I believe. And so he tells about the area, about
Area is
blah, blah,
currently
blah.
being attacked by a dragon.
No,
Right?
That does not come up
No pings?
at all. Zero pings. Zero pings. I mean, maybe there's not a whole lot of newscasters out in Altdorf.
You know what it
true.
is the Watchtower's like, no, I'm not dealing with the dragon.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't care. So he's like, wait, hang on. Stop telling me about Altdorf, Switzerland. Tell me about its connection to gold. And it's like, no, go back. Further. Back. More. Myth.
No, like the 14th century.
Yeah, myth, legend, unusual historical things.
Approximately, I don't know, 1348, who knows?
I don't know, whatever. He's like, there we go. 1348 AD, because he's seeing it.
Yeah.
He's like, Prince Amadeus, dragon, got it. Give me everything. Wally has, or no, is it Wally?
Yeah, it's Wally.
Yeah, okay. Wally has decided he's going to get rid of the hyacinth by running really fast.
Not a bad move for Flash.
It works.
Yeah, he's basically going to create a vortex and then shoot them down the Amazon River into the Atlantic Ocean.
All right.
So he's doing that.
So all the fish are going to be horny as fuck.
So he does that, he completes that job, and then he's like running back and he trips. The Flash trips
You
Diana's
doofus.
like,
on a dirty great root.
oh.
It looks like it wraps around his leg. If that was Poison Ivy getting him, that'd be amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
And like he has this moment where he's like, I haven't tripped since college and I was drunk. What the hell? And then Diana shows up. She's like, where's Batman? And he's like, what? Why are you here? And he's like, oh, I thought you were Poison Ivy. I'm really glad it wasn't you because you see this like womanly figure come out of the jungle.
Right.
And then we see behind him is Althea,
Root.
the wood nymph.
There we go.
And he's like, do you see this? It's like coiling around me. And she's like, hee. And then Wonder Woman kicks him in the face and knocks him out and then teleports away. And like, essentially, like, she goes like, I'll meet you and Zoe in the desert. See you then. And she's like, all right. We're going to get you out of this somehow. And then Batman grabs her, Althea. This is where Batman is really bizarre.
Okay.
Because Batman pulls out tetrachlorobenzopidoxin,
Oh, that old chestnut.
also
Yeah.
known as Agent Orange.
Oh.
And he's like, I wonder what this would do to a wood nymph. I'm like, this is really a child in a way.
It's like, yeah, but she's like 1,000.
Right? But like, that's where I'm like, weird.
She's mythological.
I think he's bluffing.
I'm
Batman
sure
would not
he
kill
is,
her.
but like, that's a weird bluff.
Yeah.
And so, like, obviously Batman gets all the information and backstory out of her.
Yep.
Up at the Watchtower, Wonder Woman has put Kyle and Wally in tubes.
Are those like torpedo tubes?
Kind of.
Fire him into space.
Yep.
Collect you later.
Yep.
No, we're going to
sealed.
fire him at the dragon. That's how you defeat the dragon and kill the Justice League in one fell swoop.
Yes.
But
Nailed
that's not
it.
what I'm supposed to do. Okay, I read this message wrong.
I thought okay, well, next time I'll get it right.
Yeah, next league.
And like, as she's doing this, she's like, I just did what every single one of Batman's rogues does. I underestimated him. I am so screwed.
Yep.
Like, she's already put it together that Batman is
on his way.
He's on his way, and she's in trouble. So she's about to pull the launch lever on the two of them. Batman shows up and is like, nah. He's got the nymph under his arm and she's unconscious. And Wonder Woman's like, hey, you don't understand what's going on here. And he's like, no, but I do.
No, she gave me all the information.
I know everything.
Exactly what's going on.
There's a dragon and a prophecy and like whatever.
We're gonna die.
And
You're trying to save us.
He's like, you think the prophecy of like some like Greek psychic on inhalants is like correct, and it's like that's where he gets totally wrong. I'm like, no, this is the actual Oracle of Delphi.
That's the thing. The
Yeah.
question is like, does Batman believe in magic?
Right.
It's like, you know Zatanna.
Yeah, so you really should, but I know you don't, and you hate it.
I didn't go see an oracle. I went to the oracle.
Yes.
The fucking source.
And not your oracle.
No. Who would probably tell you that there's a real dragon problem right now?
She'd be like, are you kidding me? My phone's blowing up.
But essentially, Batman is like, we have faced down Darkseid. We can do this.
Yeah.
Like, that really just increases your chances. And he's like, and Wonder Woman's like, I'm really afraid, Bruce. Like, I don't know what to do. And she takes that opportunity to try to punch him. And he's like, yeah, okay, I kind of knew.
Yeah,
Like,
trying to appeal to me like a
yeah, he's like,
person.
you're a really bad liar, Diana. You're really bad at this. And like,
Does his mask not have eye holes?
it depends
No,
on
it's
how.
a shadow, I think.
Yeah, it's how he paints it. Because like you see it here, kind of, but he doesn't want to do the white necessarily.
Okay.
But again, because it's painted, I think he's taking liberties here.
Got it.
To give him a more menacing look. Because again, like Batman's her like biggest stumbling block here.
Yes. And of course, not seeing the eyes suggests maybe like he's untrustworthy or you can't connect with him.
Yeah, like he's unfeeling, and like he is unfeeling throughout.
Yeah.
Essentially, like Diana's like, you don't get it. Like this is a prophecy.
Yeah.
This can't be broken
This is
like that
magic.
way.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna happen. It doesn't matter how many of us are there. Whoever does the deed is going to die.
Right. But
And so like all I'm trying to do is keep you from being there because I know there's no way you won't come and help me.
yeah, except like if you believe in the prophecy to the letter,
Yeah.
then there's nothing you can do to prevent it.
Right, but like she is reading the prophecy as like whoever the JLA is at the time
Right.
who goes to fight the dragon will die.
I see.
And so she's like, my job here is to stop you from going. I will die.
I'll be the JLA, a
Yes,
League of One,
A
if
League
you
of
will.
One.
I was just going to say send a Legion of Doom at him.
You're the Justice League today.
Hey, is the Justice Society around?
Oh my god.
We just got to...
Who wants to do a quick swap for the day?
Yeah.
Oh, man, we get to be the Justice League. This is great.
Yeah.
Go
Go
fight
for
that
it.
dragon.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, no, it's going to be really great, Alan.
Whew, dodge that bullet.
And we boosted our sales.
Nice. So essentially, this is where like Batman says a whole bunch of stuff that he will never apologize for in this book. Mm-hmm. It's borderline kind of inappropriate.
Right.
He's doing it for a reason that she says he's doing it for, but he never admits that he's doing it for that reason.
Right.
You have to take it with a grain of salt and belief in Batman.
Sure.
Because he says that she's so predictable and then proceeds to be like, about her whole prophecy thing, like, someone's always pulling the strings, right, Diana? Like, if a woman can't get a job, it's because a man. If a kid shouts at his teacher, it's because he's being bullied at home. Like, he says things that I'm like...
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to call the dragon a dinosaur.
Okay, that's like really pushing the Batman doesn't believe in magic motif.
Yeah, and that, like, you know, we're not gonna stop this dragon or this dinosaur because of a prophecy. We're just gonna look the other way, and it's like, that's literally not what Diana said.
No.
That's just not. He's like, that just sounds like you're a coward.
That sounds like he's projecting.
Right? And she's like, it's a dragon, not a dinosaur, and I know what you're trying to do. You're just trying to, like, make me, like, make a mistake.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, a kid becomes a crime fighter because his parents are murdered.
Yeah. But, like...
Batman, you don't want to play that game?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, like, there are things that he says here I'm like, that's just not...
Yeah.
Like...
That's rough. That's what you said to your friend and teammate.
I get, like, because the Wonder Woman admits that that's what he's doing, I'm like, okay.
Narratively speaking, this is why
that
he's
is
doing
what
it.
he's doing, but, like, Batman doesn't make an indicator that that is, in fact, what he's doing.
He doesn't give her an inch.
No, at all. And so, inevitably, he throws batarangs, she deflects them, she uses her lasso, gets it around him, and is like, I need this has to work, Batman.
Right.
Because there's
He's
too
like,
much...
I meant everything I said.
And she's like, there's no other way. And he's like, there's always a way. And then he uses his cape, turns it into a hang glider, essentially, to have the lasso go around it. He slips out.
That's amazing.
And he's like, hey, Wonder Woman, listen to me if you can. Because, like, he's like, you must be so upset. I'm like, what is wrong with you, Batman?
I'm amazed he doesn't make a period joke.
No, he's like, it's stupid
Doesn't
that
run
you
like
want
Kevin Smith.
He's like, he's like, I understand that you want to, like, there's no use in you playing a martyr. Like, it's stupid. If you believed in this prophecy, you have to know that by doing this, you've already changed it. And then she proceeds to punch the monument that was just brought up.
Aww.
It, like,
The one that she was hyping up, made by the Pope.
yeah, it breaks up. She grabs the piece that says Batman and then wings it at his head and hits him with it.
I like that, by the way, we list the Justice League on the monument.
Yeah.
The last name is the only one that remains on the
Is
monument
Wonder
for the
Woman.
Justice League.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then she punches him in the stomach and then punches him in the face.
I mean, like, he's going to lose. Like, she will overpower him physically.
Yes. If she can lay a hand on him, it's over.
It's over. She's also fast.
And so then she stands over him and says, like,
You're a jerk.
well, yeah, but, like, she proceeds to explain that the JLA is an ideal, and one of us can represent that. And so, like, that's what I'm running with here. And so I will be a league of one.
There you go.
And it will be enough. So she proceeds to put him in a tube and fires him into space.
You're going in the tubes, Bruce.
You're in the tube. And then, like, she kind of calls out to
What has been happening with Superman this whole time?
He's dealing with the solar flare.
yeah. And, Jean admitted that, like, he would be beyond his reach where he was. And so he wouldn't be a part of the telepathic network. And so Diana utilized that.
Right. Superman's off-world.
Superman has
Sweet.
zero idea what's
He's
happening.
like, oh, well, I wonder what my friends and compatriots are doing right now.
I wonder if we'll have pizza later. I love pizza.
I can imagine.
I read my books.
It'd be great if he gets back after it's all over and he's like, well, what are we going to do to celebrate? And everyone's just mad and looking at Diana and he's like, I want pepperoni.
I did my job.
Yeah.
I get pizza.
Yeah.
And I scanned the earth on my way over here. I saw you all did your job, so everyone deserves pizza.
Yeah. Everyone gets a personal pan.
I also see the thieves.
I read enough books for all of us.
The theft has stopped in Switzerland. I told us not to worry about that, but someone apparently took care of it.
Yeah, so yay. Wonder Woman has, like, a moment where, like, she calls out to Hera and Athena, and it's like, is this what you, like, thought of when you made me? Like, this is how it would end?
Right. Is this real life?
Right? Like, that, like, not only do I have to sacrifice my life, but I had to sacrifice who I am to make it happen. Like, I had to lie to all of my friends to achieve this.
That's rough.
Yeah.
And so she's like, okay. So, like...
No one responded. Off we go.
Right. Like, is there no other way? Cool. And, like, there's a moment, like, they mentioned this, like, earlier in the book that, like, there's, like, Diana, and then there's, like, the warrior heart of Diana. And the warrior heart is, like, unmoved by anything. It's not moved by fear or grief or happiness.
It's the heart she used to defeat her friends.
Yeah, and it's, like, and it knows the answer.
Yes.
That image of, like, her hair just blowing past her.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
It's like you don't get an answer. You're just left there and just like...
Yep.
Even the elements are hitting you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I am 100% alone right now.
Yes.
We really want to drive home what's happening in Switzerland one more
Okay.
time.
Sure, yeah. The stakes have never been higher.
The townsfolk have heard from the dragon that if they, like, take a bunch of their, like, little girls and tie them to posts to leave for the dragon to eat, then she'll let them live.
So, of course, there's children tied to posts.
And they definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Elman comes from the forest and frees them.
Aw, good for him.
He's like,
It's like, nope.
yeah, he's like, no, you gotta be quiet, guys.
Don't ruin this.
Yeah, and then the Draco Gnomes show up. He frees all of the little girls. They escape into the forest, and they look down on the town, and they see the church being set on fire by Dracul.
Well, yeah, because the dragon didn't get her her morsels.
Well, no, she was going to do that anyway. She told all the townsfolk to go to the church to stay safe. And, like...
I fucking love this dragon.
This dragon sucks!
Yeah, but I love her.
I know.
She's great.
I know.
Yeah.
She's a great bad guy.
Yes.
Yeah, what a character.
And Elman's like, you know, this is something that we all must relearn, is you may never trust the word of a dragon. I'm like,
Fair enough.
I don't
I'll
think
take your word on
I
that.
had to relearn that.
But I gave someone my heart. No, not even you.
Nope.
No.
Get out of here, Sean Connery.
Well, remember earlier, he was bilking townsfolk out of their money by pretending to bother them and stuff.
That's right.
He is an untrustworthy dragon.
It is true. In Australia, in the Gibson Desert, Wonder Woman awaits her final task
Okay.
with the two nymphs, right? And, like, Zoe's like, are you okay, Althea? And Althea's like, yeah, and he didn't hurt me. He just threatened me and scared me. And then when I went to the moon, I fell asleep. Because
No
her...
foliage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, he didn't actually knock her unconscious. I'm like, okay.
That's cool.
Nice
Okay,
touch.
all right.
Nice touch, Chris.
I was gonna say,
Undoing
like,
a little bit of
what
it.
about this naiad here? Is she not having an issue but not being near water?
Nereid? No, she's okay because she's still on Earth.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think it's when they went to the moon.
And there's like water in the atmosphere and whatnot, so she might
Yeah.
draw from that.
And
Yeah.
so, essentially, the two of them are like, don't, like, they try one more time. They're like, don't go through with it.
Yeah.
Just tell Superman about it. He's basically as strong as a
Right.
god.
He'll
Maybe
die.
Let him take the blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still want you around.
Yeah. And she's like, you have to go. He's coming.
Okay.
And he shows up and he's like, hey, I got your message. What's up? He still has
No
zero
idea.
And she's like, Cal, hey. And he's like, are you crying?
No!
And she's like, no, look.
Shut up!
Look on the horizon. Just look over there. And he's like, what? I don't see anything. And then she kicks him in the back. And it sends him across the desert. And he's like,
I
what?
love how gullible he is.
He's so gullible. And then she proceeds to just kick him a whole bunch.
Just keeps kicking him.
Just keeps kicking him when he's down.
Diana, why?
Yeah, and then he grabs her by the boot and he's like, is this a test? Like, are we doing a thing
Are we
right
sparring?
now? Like, what is it? She doesn't respond.
Oh, you stupid puppy.
Tries to punch him, he blocks it. She tries to kick him, and he punches her in the face. And he's like, okay, if that's how it's going to be. He's like, just talk to me. What's up? What's up? And
Right.
he tries to be completely reasonable with her.
Yep.
And he's like, immediately he's like, whatever it is, let me help you.
Yes.
Just let me help you. I'm like, this is Superman. Cool. She's like, here. And she has her hand, and she drops something in his hand. It's green. At first I was like, oh, it's kryptonite.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
It's
okay.
Kyle's ring.
Oh.
And he's like,
And at this point, this is, I think, the last Green Lantern ring in existence, so.
she's like, why? He's like, why do you have Kyle's ring?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't understand. She's like, I imprisoned Green Lantern and Batman and the Flash in the lifeboats for the Watchtower, and they've been shot into space, and they only have 12 hours oxygen, and so you have to go save them.
This is how you get rid of Superman. Okay.
Right.
He's like, what?
Why would you do this?
What's up? She's like, I need you to go away. But I knew, because I knew I couldn't beat you. But I knew if I didn't weaken you, you'd save them too fast.
Right.
So I beat the ever-loving hell out of you first. And he's like, I don't understand. She's like, do me a favor, go look at, like, use your vision and look at all of Switzerland. And he's like,
Every dragon!
everything's on fire,
Shoom, shoom. Hey, I killed a dragon.
right? But she's like, the fates have prophesied that anyone who faces it will die. He's like, oh, let's go together. And she's like, you can't. You have to make a choice.
Right. You got to save your friends.
You got to save them or you have to help me. And he just gives her this really, like, sad look. And then he just takes off. Mm-hmm. And she's like, okay, nailed it. So now the rest of the story can actually begin.
Right.
Like, taking care of the Justice League. She
Which
defeated
is really
them.
the
Defeated them all, either by actually punching them or with, her intelligence.
Yes.
I'm like, cool.
But like, yeah, Aquaman's stuck in the weird whirlpool.
Yep.
Yeah.
John's just having a fit.
Yeah, he's just terrified.
Yep.
The other three are knocked unconscious.
It's set in
Hurtling
space.
through space.
And Superman has to go save them. In theory, he has to save all of them. I mean, probably Aquaman can get himself out.
Yeah, Arthur will be out.
I'll just flood this whirlpool with the bodies of my aqua brethren. Come
dolphins.
save me, whales and dolphins and fish.
Only the rare ones.
Just flood your bodies and die in here and build a mound for me to get out.
Oh my God.
They're like, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Arthur.
On a mountain of porpoises, Arthur
Man.
arrives at a place beyond tears.
So, like, a bunch of the Gnomes are, like, riding Dracul around, and they're like, hey, look, there's cows. Go burn them and eat them, too. Turn them into Dracu cows. Like, they're just yelling things for her to do.
To do a request.
The dragon's like, okay, Jesus, this is why I don't have a fan
Yeah,
base.
they're just groupies, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the nymphs are watching this all happen, and Wonder Woman arrives. And, like, the Gnomes are like, there's a lady coming.
Turn her into a dragon or whatever.
Yeah, they are. And, like, well, they tell her to burn her to a crisp. And, like, the dragon's like, why do you interrupt my dinner? Because, like, there's this sweet picture of her eating a whole cow.
That is pretty sweet.
Here,
Why not?
That's a rare steak sale.
the rarest. This is a really cool image. And I want to talk about this image in particular because it's neat looking, right?
Yeah.
It's the way in which it's described because the narration is the dragon's maw shimmers white like the door of a blast furnace. I'm like, that's really cool. That's how
Yeah.
hot the fires of this
Right.
dragon are.
Love it.
And that her breath reeks of blood and corruption.
Nice.
I'm like, cool. This dragon's been eating nonstop.
Yes.
And she's like, do you have a name, little messenger? And she's like, I'm Diana of the Amazon. She's like, you're so stupid. Diana's like, what's your name? She's like, I'm Joan of Arc. Because I'm not going to tell you my real name. Because as you know, in story and mythology and all that stuff, names have
power.
Power and weight. And she's like, I know your name now, idiot.
Loco.
And she's like, what's the rest of your prophecy, little Amazon? What is it? She's like, whoa, how could you know that? She's like, because I hear many things beneath the surface of the earth. She's like, I hear lots of stuff. What's the rest of your little prophecy? Right? And like, meanwhile, the nymphs are like, okay, they're talking too much. And Diana really shouldn't have revealed her name.
Yep.
That was a noob mistake right there. She's like, I got to tell you, I'm kind of disappointed that this is like the adversary I have. Like, just you.
Right.
Cool, whatever. And so, like, essentially, she's like, just dresses her down. She doesn't kill her. She just calls her an idiot and says that she's ignorant. She's like, what did they actually say? And Diana says, brave hearts riding onto death shall save the living world from fear. She's like, yeah, you didn't actually get it right. You're not going to kill me. That's not what you're going to do. You read it wrong. Bye. And she leaves. And like the nymphs are like, she's bewitched her because she had her name. So Diana's done for. Diana's like, wait a minute. If I wasn't actually a threat, like, why did you just kill me and be done with it?
Yeah.
Oh, because you can't. Okay. So she chases it. Like, she grabs one of the Dracugnomes that are near her and is like, uses her lasso, wraps it around his head, and is like, tell me your mistress's name.
Oh.
And then she, like, takes off, and the nymphs are like, yay! Okay, cool. Dracul's driving. She's flying around.
Just tooling around.
She's just tooling around, doing whatever, and Diana, like, rolls up next to her and is like, Dracul Carfing! I did not give you leave. And like Dracul's like, okay, which one of you idiots gave her my name? Well, who did that? Meanwhile, she like turns around, Dracul just kind of falling off the back. Well, because no, like she doesn't care. So, like,
right.
Yeah, she stopped and turned.
Right.
I wasn't ready for the shift. I wasn't buckled. Always wear your seatbelt.
Yes. And while this is happening, Diana just punches her in the face.
I love that.
Just wham. She's like, okay. And then Dracul hits her with her tail, and Diana plummets to earth. She's like, that was my greatest punch that I could have thrown at her, and it didn't seem to do anything. And it's like, the nymphs are like, Diana, do you actually know anything about dragons?
No. I never had to fight one.
So then they explain to her the whole idea about the dragon's heart.
Also, like, Use your lasso.
right?
Yeah. Wrap it around her
Use-
tail.
Yeah. She's like, got it. Heart. That's what I have to find.
Yes.
And so, like,
She bursts right into her chest and starts ripping organs apart,
Is
being
it
like,
any-
Where is it?
everyone's like,
Holy shit.
she just comes out red.
By Daniel Warren Johnson.
she flies over in front of Drackle and is like, Drackle Carfang, I'm gonna go find your heart. I'm off to fetch your heart. You're gonna be dead soon. And she just takes off. Drackle tries to burn her with fire. Mm-hmm. And like the Draco Gnomes are like, we gotta get there first. Ah! And then Diana hides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta get there first.
Drackle is like, she's so fast, she must be almost there. And so she takes off for her lair.
Yeah, I am almost there. Just lead me there, you
Yep.
idiot.
The dragon goes back to her lair. Diana and the nymphs follow. They go into the Yuri Warren. They find their way down where they run into Elman.
Oh, hey.
He's like, hey, have you come to slay Draco Carfang? And like the nymphs are like, ew! You use your lasso on him. He's a bad guy, I bet. And it's funny, he grabs her hand and he's like bows before her and she's like, he's fine. I don't have to use my lasso. I like his face. I was like, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
Like-
Also, like, he's not one of those weird dragon monster things that she turned him into, so, like...
He's natural. He's like a natural occurring being.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so essentially, like, he explains a little bit more that, like, here's what happens. When Dracul eats someone, like she did at the beginning of this book when she ate the Elder, she can use their soul and then, like, make that corrupting fire that turns them into Draco
Okay.
things.
Okay.
And so that's what happened. And, like, the idea is that if you kill the dragon, all the Draco Gnomes will become gnomes again.
Oh.
So he's like, in order to save my loved ones, I'm going to do anything and everything I can to help you. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the nymphs are like, you smell. Because as much as we're like thousands of years old, we're also like little
Hoity-toity.
girls.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
10.
We're 10.
We get a little additional lesson for funsies, about dragons and the reason that dragons have hordes.
Oh, good to know.
The dragons have golden hordes because they can consume the gold and in their like blast furnace of a stomach melt it down and it replaces the scales of their armor
Oh, cool.
or of their bodies,
That's dope.
right?
I assumed it was to distract adventurers from finding the heart.
Right?
Right.
No, they eat it,
eat
and,
it.
and strengthen themselves.
That's cool.
However, gold is an invention of man, according to the way, because like the way, it's not like it's golden nuggets. It's
No.
like, you
Yeah.
know,
It's like
treasure and
coins
such
ingots
things.
and whatnot, yeah.
and
So I've been eating, like, TVs and car stereos and shit.
Yeah. But gold,
Listen to my bass. Boom, 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 boom.
yeah, if she'd been allowed to make it into our age, she would have been like a silicon, like
Yeah.
techno dragon. She looked like Daft Punk, but a dragon.
That'd be dope.
That I want to see.
Yeah.
But with this treasure carries the like stain of human evils, of deceit and betrayal and murder. And so the longer
What
dragon,
about greed, you dragon?
right? Yeah, well that's part of it. Like dragons are so greedy on their own because they want to sustain themselves, but as they consume the gold, they become more evil. So the older a dragon is,
The more evil it
the more
becomes.
evil it is, because typically it means they had to consume more to
Of
stay
man's-
alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like she's pretty much treachery incarnate at this point.
Right.
They run into some Draco Gnomes. They have a fight in which Elman runs into Emmerich
Oh, no.
as a Draco Gnome. Draco Gnome.
Okay.
And like he's gonna kill the two nymphs. Elman tries to stop him and is not going to. And so one of the Zoe uses her water powers and like blasts him off the side of a staircase and he dies.
Okay.
And like Emmerich's like, well,
Then my reasons for helping you are now dead.
no, he's down. Because like don't forget, like he and Emmerich really didn't see eye. He was
Yeah.
like my friend, but like we had very different ideas as to what we were supposed to be doing as gnomes.
Right.
During the fight, one of the Draco Gnomes gets the jump on Diana and pushes her off the side as well. And so they plummet down to where Draco Carfang and her heart is,
Oh, shit.
which is like very fortunate.
Yes. Whoops.
Yay! We wouldn't have to take all these stairs now.
Yeah.
And like Draco Carfang's like, Cool.
Does she punch the Dracanar on the way down like Gandalf does?
Yeah.
No, instead she flips the two of them over so she lands on him.
Oh!
Nice.
And like pushes him like a foot into the ground.
Okay, 1, cushion your fall. Good. 2, destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. 2, that one's not coming back.
No.
Drackle is like, there's nowhere for you to fly now, princess. It's over. And so she like summons a big fire blast.
Sweet.
And so Diana like uses her gauntlets and tries to like push it off. And she can feel them becoming white hot on her wrists. And like she realizes like she's suffocating in this flame. Mm-hmm. And that like the flame itself is seeking like any sort of like lies or evil within her.
Yes.
And so, like, even though she recently had to deceive her friends, because she had done those purity challenges and, like,
And she
rituals,
did it for pure reasons, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah, rituals, like, at the beginning, this doesn't burn through her. However, it would have destroyed her friends had they been here. And so she's like, I was right to do this.
Aha.
Right? And so then, like, as like the Dracognomes are like, cool, you roasted her like a chicken, awesome. And then we get this like dope single image of like Diana as the flames dissipate and like her gauntlets are still kind of on fire and like the lasso of truth's coming out of the flames and she's like, here I am.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Oh, shit.
impossible, says Draco Carfang. No mortal can survive my fire. You know, everyone has
Something.
lies within them. He's like, not me.
Not me.
No,
Bitch.
she doesn't say that. Like, essentially, she's like,
Nope.
She's like, are you not fearless? Are you not a conqueror and the mightiest of your kind? You're beautiful. You're beauty. Do you not know that you're like one of those beautiful women on the earth? She's like, I believe in truth and compassion.
And it's true that I'm beautiful.
So, and I compassionately accept that. And like,
Ooh, well played, well played.
and Carfang's like, compassion, your race doesn't know the meaning of the word. You hunted my race to extinction.
It's like, that was
Granted.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, not my people.
Not me. And she's like, I don't want to kill you. So what if we did this? What if you give me your heart out of good faith and I'll see to it that it stays safe and you don't be a dick?
Right.
Because anytime I could kill it.
Just meh.
And Draco Carfang like starts to cry and is like, you've shown me mercy.
Yes.
And I've not seen that before. I agree to this.
Okay.
But this is a treacherous, evil dragon. How do you trust it? Even if you have its heart, like, I imagine it's gonna betray you at some point.
Right, but you'll have the heart. So she like is like, cool, all right, and like Draco Carfang goes to kick the heart over, and instead, of course, just knocks Diana out of the way, and it's like, you're so dumb.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna kill her. Everyone just jump on her, pile on. So all the Dracognomes pile on Diana. Draco Carfang scoops up her heart, takes off, and flees.
Yeah, time to hide it somewhere else.
Yeah, Diana starts whipping gnomes around, Dracognomes, and takes off after her. She still has Dracognomes on her back. She just always has
Like
groupies.
little guys. Yeah.
So then she's like, one of them's like, mistress, she's following you. She's like, cool. One of you jump on my nose. Do me a solid here. And they're like, okay, I'm going to fall though. I'm afraid.
It's okay.
Don't worry, I'm going to eat you. And she does.
No.
And then she does a flip, thus knocking the rest of the Dracognomes over.
Right.
And she turns on her and spits that green vapor on her.
Oh, fuck.
And Diana turns into a Draco creature.
Oh no!
That's fucking crazy.
As this is happening, Diana had used the lasso finally around the dragon.
Yes.
And she realizes as she's holding it now that she's become this creature, it's burning her.
Oh.
And so Wonder Woman falls. And as she's like falling, she like realizes that like the end is near, right? And that like this is like not the death she wanted, to be corrupted in this way, right?
Yeah.
And yet, as the corruption's making its way through her body, it's her warrior's heart that mans up.
This is the prophecy. Like, sorry, you gotta die.
But it turns her around because the warrior heart has one goal, and that goal is, I'm going to end this dragon.
Yes.
And so she spins back around, and she flies at Carfang, who's like in pain from the lasso,
Right.
and just plunges herself through
The
Draco
heart.
Carfang's heart, which explodes. And so does Draco Carfang into gold, like
That's
golden
cool.
pieces that she'd consumed.
Nice.
And then Diana falls into the ocean, and the corruption like leaves her body, but Diana doesn't feel it because Diana has died.
Right.
And so she falls into the ocean. Suddenly we see Superman dive into the water and grabs her.
You know, if you hadn't beaten the shit out of me, I could have called you a little earlier.
Yeah, I could have
I could have caught you.
I could have caught you, but I didn't.
I could have also like helped you bust through that heart.
Right?
Yeah.
But instead, like, she's drowned, right? And so, like, Superman puts her on the nearby shore, and is like, she doesn't have a heartbeat. And then we get, like, essentially the scene from The Abyss. And he's
Yeah.
like, you need to fight.
Fight, Diana.
I don't want to slap you because I'm really strong, but like,
No,
come on.
He's like, give me a heartbeat. And, like, he's, like, trying to do CPR on her, and he's, like, punching her chest because he knows she can take it.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I don't accept this fate. And so he like, you know, breathes into her, and then, like, finally she wakes up. And, like, he stands her up. The rest of the Justice League shows up and, like, surrounds her, and Superman walks away. The nymphs are there, and Zoe's like, I don't understand why she looks upset. Why is she crying? Like, if I were her, right now I'd be asking Zeus to peel my grapes. Feeling so good about me.
That's fun.
And, like, Althea's like, you don't get it. Like, she had to wound her friends and, like, betray herself to do this. Like, she doesn't even like to tell white lies, and she betrayed all of them.
Yeah.
And, like, Flash is like, well, all's well that ends well, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he saved us from not having to like kill by
Yeah,
a dragon.
Kylo Rayner's like, yeah, not quite. And then
Would have been nice to see a dragon in real life, real quick, just before it, exploded into coins.
Right, that might have been fun.
Did you keep any of them?
Any of them at all. Meanwhile, Batman still
Not feeling it.
Hey, hang on. Do we have time for Batman being a dick one more time?
I think we do.
Okay, good. Yeah. Because, like, he, instead of, like, being any sort of supportive whatsoever,
Right.
he just goes, like, after portraying Superman the way he did, it would take an awful lot of courage to go after him. He's like, I know what I have to do, Batman.
All I'm saying is, it'd be really strong of you to do that.
Yeah.
You bitch.
Yeah, he's like, don't.
God.
She goes, like, don't question my courage again. And then he smiles,
Yeah.
which is, like, kind of nice.
He was like, yeah.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I was gonna go after him anyway. This isn't your idea, Bruce.
you could have. You have not said
true.
one nice thing this entire book.
Nope.
And then I smiled at her. Yeah, smarmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have been like, I would have done the same.
Yes.
But
I have done the same.
How about like this was a great plan?
He's
Yeah.
like, he's like, but it's different if I do it.
Right.
I'm Batman. She's like, I don't want to hurt you, and he's like, but you did. You broke my heart.
Aw.
You deceived us without remorse. And she's
Yeah.
like, but I had to. Like, I was doing it because I didn't want you to die.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you came really close to dying alone. Do you understand what it would have done to me?
Aw.
And she's like, listen, if you were in my place, what would you have done?
The right thing.
And, like, he doesn't answer. And she's like, Cal,
That's
Clark,
what I thought.
Yeah.
Superman, you have to answer me. And he's like, I would have died fighting by your side. And then he turns away. And then he turns back and he's like, you're right, I would have done the exact same thing. He's like, but you did break my heart. And, like, you have to promise you're never going to do that again. Like, you can't, like, you
can't keep doing this. This can't be every Thursday.
You can't force that choice upon me again.
This was a one-time shot.
Yeah.
But Diana does not back down, and she's like, listen, the Justice League is my family, and I will do whatever it takes to protect it. I'm like, that's dope. She kisses him on the cheek, and then is like, take it or leave it. That's the only promise I can give you.
Right.
And that's it. That's
And
the
they
end.
all hug.
Kind of. And you see Batman smiling, and, like, the two of them are just kind of like, get the hell out of here.
Well, look at Arthur talking to the
Yeah.
water sprite.
Yeah. Well, she's, like, giving her back I guess, like, the water sprite must have grabbed the lasso, so she gives it, like,
That's fun.
you put me in Charybdis. I hate you.
Welcome to the team. The water team.
It's okay, we're bros now.
Yeah. Could I like call on you? Are
Right?
you like an animal?
Yeah, wait a minute.
You getting anything? No.
No.
Your beard is scruffy.
Yeah. You have a hook hand, you don't?
Wait until Mara meets you.
Yeah, she's gonna love you.
You always said you wanted kids, huh?
Oh.
She'll stay this way
cool.
forever.
This is Justice League.
Woo.
JLA League of One.
Nice.
It's a great story.
Is a dope Wonder Woman story.
Yeah.
About Wonder Woman using truth and her lasso to defeat the day.
Yes.
In a
Which is
vet-
exactly what Wonder Woman 84 does. But it sucks.
It's funny. I read this before seeing
The movie.
The movie, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I mean, like, they are just, standard sort of Diana things.
Right.
But it is funny that, like, we begin this on Themyscira dealing with the truth.
Yep.
And then it comes around at the end, but it actually comes around in the
Yeah.
end here.
Yeah, it's not just a weird scene.
I mean, I kind of get why the 84 wasn't like, let's do a dragon.
It's kind of like, why did you do anything? I'd take a dragon.
I would take a dragon.
If we get this, yeah, hell yeah.
Would have also really fun to see, like, I guess Affleck Batman and stuff.
Being a total dick.
I mean, would have been very much in character.
Right? But yeah, so like in this, she defeats the Justice League.
Yep. Defeats the Justice League, fights a dragon,
Yeah.
interacts with mystical creatures.
Yep. And at the end of the day, does and does not betray who she is
Exactly.
to achieve her goals.
Challenges who she is without betraying it. She believes, but she sees that as a betrayal because she's such a
but at the end of the day, it really is not.
She's honest to herself.
Yep.
Even if she has to betray her friends, she's not betraying the ideal of who she is to do so.
right.
Yeah, and I like the fact that like this story really balances like the idea of like Wonder Woman using like truth and like honor and compassion to solve her problems.
Yeah.
But also punches things.
Yeah, but also
because
fights a
she's
dragon.
like a god.
Yeah.
You know
She
what I
literally,
mean?
and she offers the solution to the dragon of peace.
Yeah. Hi.
But does blast its heart into pieces.
Yeah. Well, it's
When it refuses.
Yeah, it's a little fight sandwich. They fight. Hey, do you think we can work this through?
Yep.
Cool. No. All right.
Dragon puts her in a no-win scenario.
Yep. And then
Then if I'm going down, you're coming with me.
and
right.
you're going to become coins.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nothing but shitty pennies.
No, it's got to be like doubloons.
Yeah.
One would
Like,
hope.
It better be.
and like ancient Grecian money.
Yeah.
That's just scattering
Just
Treasure
the ocean.
Countryside.
everywhere.
Because it should be in the ocean or in the sea because she mentions that like the dragon's headed out towards the Mediterranean Sea, which Diana's very happy about because there's no people in
Right.
that area, so it'll be harder for there to be any collateral damage since this dragon clearly likes that a lot.
thrives on it,
Yes.
Well, yeah, they were all concerned about the tanker that was there before.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was right. It's a bad time to be in Europe.
Yeah. Some great art in this story. It's a fun, like, just kind of done in one story.
Yeah. The biggest complaint I saw, like if you look at reviews online for, I guess people who were reading it at the time, they didn't like the art because they're looking for comic book art.
Yeah, they were looking for
And
like
that's-
Howard Porter art.
That's not what you're going to find in this. Like this is painted. Every single panel is painted.
Yeah.
And I think that painted.
That's impressive.
It's very impressive. And I think it's really well done. And I think it fits the story because the story reads more like a myth,
Yes.
but a modern day myth.
Yeah. A few years later, Marvel will get on the painting bandwagon and get like Gabriel Dell'Otto to paint a Bendis event, Secret War, for like no good reason.
Right,
The art's
right.
spectacular, and it's like, what?
Yep.
Whenever you get an artist who can do that, and it doesn't require a timeline, like you can't do a month-to-month book painting.
No, that would be incredibly difficult.
But it is fun to have this kind of very standalone,
yeah, this was
evergreen Justice League story with this kind of art.
right. This was technically just two.
Prestige books.
Yeah, that's it. And now, considering the way that Metal ended, which again had this in the forefront of my mind because it's a Wonder Woman story in which she has to use compassion and truth
And gold.
and gold to defeat like the big bad at the end. I just think that this is a tighter story.
Yeah.
It's not at all like that story.
It's not, from inception to execution, they're two different animals.
Yes, but like there are like some similarities and some comparisons you can draw.
This is true.
But in theory, in light of that, this happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they can talk with Wonder Woman if and when she,
Returns from
Yeah.
whatever she's doing.
and be like, remember that time you fought a dragon and turned it into coin?
She's like, yeah, remember that time I kicked your ass and pantsed you?
Remember that time I shot you guys into space?
Hey,
That
Sean,
was
remember
great.
that time I put you in magma?
Yeah, we don't see Sean's response.
I really enjoyed this story. You have
Same.
a villain that, like, it's fine that it dies. We
Yes.
don't need Dracul Carfang to return.
No.
I'm just glad that it happened.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you could say that this is the last dragon They say it's the last of its kind, but like, what do they know in 1348?
Right, exactly.
Right? Yeah, there could be another dragon. There could
Yeah.
be an egg somewhere
Totally.
that hatches.
Oh, yeah.
But that dragon wouldn't be evil initially.
Yeah, no. Draco Carfang is gone.
Yes.
That's fine.
That one's gone. Who knows? I like the idea of like Wonder Woman dealing with myth from not her background.
That's true.
Like she's dealing with a myth from like seemingly European, like it is technically like centered on Switzerland,
Yeah.
but the dragons could have been from all different places
true.
originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's fun. And that's why
Agreed.
she doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't really deal with
I
dragons.
don't really know the dragon
Is
stories.
it a Hydra? Is it
No.
Yeah, cut off the head to appear.
yeah, like a whole bunch or no?
No, just if you cut off the one head, it won't die because
Yeah.
you have to hit its heart first.
But like she like misses all the steps with it. Like she gives it its name. She doesn't know about the heart.
Yeah.
They have to tell her about the gold.
Right.
I'm like, that's fun. And
stuff.
I'm learning too.
Exactly.
So we'll put I believe you can pick this up, so we'll put a link to something down in the description if you want to check this out. It's a fast read, but like it's a lot of fun, and again, the art is just great. This is
You
my
could
kind of
read
art.
it quick, but you could also pour over it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like the way in which a lot of things are described are a lot of fun. Like a lot of the dragon stuff in particular is just really well written, and I'm like, yeah, that's just
That's cool.
Yeah, but don't forget, that neighbor murdered his friend.
Yes.
with a
With a
wrench,
wrench.
a wrench.
It was
Giant
in the
pipe wrench.
in the driveway.
in the driveway with the wrench.
Thanks, Clue.
And those babies are dead.
Oh yeah. Woof.
That town is over.
Yeah.
It's just
You just leave.
That's okay. In Europe, they used to just move to a different town.
yeah.
Now they can do how they did in 1348.
Yeah, sorry, Altdorf. You didn't make it.
Yeah.
Except those little girls. And maybe some other folk.
Probably.
I don't know.
Are we gonna have a slow-mo frame of Altdorf and sepia? You're
Yeah.
like, sorry,
Show
man.
you all the dead people.
No!
Play Sarah McLachlan over it.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and giving this a try. This Wonder Woman story couched in a JLA title.
Right.
Because they had to sell it to you that way.
That's
2001. You weren't buying it.
I
Nope.
guess. Yeah.
Nope.
No, you weren't. But I say give it a read if you're interested at all or you're looking for something satisfying in terms of a beginning, middle, and end for a Wonder Woman story. Give it a try. Even if you're not a huge fan of like the heavy mythology, this has it, but it doesn't like...
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's like shoved down your throat.
Agreed.
Like we're still doing Justice League stuff,
Yes.
but also dragons.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad.
No.
I enjoyed it.
Right?
Go pick it up, and go check out some of our other
And
stuff.
survive a trial by fire.
Yeah.
If you can make it to the end and you're still in one piece, you're worthy.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. Make sure to check the description box. Pick up your copy of this. Make sure you give this video a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out some of the other videos we make. They're a lot of fun. They have less dragons in them, but they're still awesome. It's still a good time. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
Bye, guys.